What's up, everybody? When you see the mail, you know that means it's time to go through a bunch of stuff that's been piling up over the last month or so. We've got some mail that I've already opened for the one guy who's always like, he's acting like he hasn't opened this mail before. He's acting like he hasn't seen the mail. Of course, I've gone through, I've looked at it, I've made sure to remove anything that would dox myself or other people. It's clearly been opened. Oh my gosh, look, it's already opened. I'm going to talk about the cards. The video starts right now.
Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below.
Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. I'm Jake. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic today. I'm cracking open some mail. I've got a bunch of mail that's been piling up over the last month. I'm gonna talk about why I bought some of these cards. There's some reserve list stuff in here. There's some Time Spiral remastered stuff. My cat wants to go outside. Of course, he's gonna meow as soon as I'm doing a video. That's what he does. He thinks about one thing. He's like, I want to go outside. That's what I want. That's the only thing I'm thinking about today. If you like these videos where we crack into mail and we talk about MTG cards and MTG Finance a little bit, go ahead, click like and subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel with just the click of a button. We've got a lot of cards to talk about today, so let's get into them. What I'm buying April 2021. As of the filming of this video, it's April 22nd right now, nice and early in the morning. Got the whole day ahead of me. What do we got here in this very first piece of mail? Let's go ahead and just move this to the side. And what we have here is a City of Traders. Nice reserve list card. I can't afford the normal version, which is like 300 bucks, so I went ahead and I picked one of these up. I think I might have paid like 20 or 25 bucks for this. It's just one of those cards that I don't have in the collection. There are some specs in here, but mostly stuff that I'm purchasing because I don't have copies of. Now, these actually are specs because these are not the only copies that I have of Reflections of Litjar. I think these are 3 copies, and this is the foil extended. So the reason I like this card is just it's very good for EDH Tribal. I know that it's a little bit slower and it's more casual, but I still think it's the kind of card that is going to be attractive to players in the long term. And here we do have some Time Spiral Remastered popping up. To the one guy who's like, he's acting like he doesn't know what these cards are. Dude, I order these literally over the past couple months. I don't keep track of everything. I don't just sit there and think about the cards that I've ordered all the time. So these sit in a pile until I open them. So anyway, Mirror Entity, I was just picking up these Time Spiraled Remastered, Time Shifted foil border cards while they were cheap. I think I got this one for $19.99, something like that. That might be comparable to its current price. But yeah, just picking this up with all the Changeling and Shapeshifter that was going on in Call Time and future support. I figured like this card would probably see an uptick in the long term. Okay, now this is just for the collection. Went ahead and I picked up a Ishaya Soul of the Wild. It's a card that I've had my eye on for a while that I just haven't splurged and haven't put in the time to get. But yeah, pretty strong card. I really like these extended borders for EDH. Just these variants, man. They're pretty attractive. Oh, okay. Now these are Undiscovered Paradise that I picked up, oh god, probably about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. These are just a bunch of near mint copies of this card. This is reserve list. It's one of the lower end reserve list cards, but it's got a pretty interesting effect. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool at the beginning of your next untap phase. Return Undiscovered Paradise to its owner's hand. So very nice for landfall type effects if you're trying to get a repeatable landfall trigger going on. And again, reserve list card. Go ahead and put that with our other gold border stuff. A lot of people might be like, why do you buy the gold border stuff? And we do have another gold border here. This is another card that's just really gone crazy. This is a pretty beat to crap version of this card too. I'll go ahead and take this out of here so you can see it. Yeah, you could see nice played copy of that card. The reason I picked this up is just because the normal version of the card is really going nuts as far as price, and I do not have a copy of this. So it's good to be able to pick these up. And another gold border card, Thawing Glaciers, same type thing. I don't have any normal copies of this card, so I went ahead and I was like, you know what, we'll go ahead and pick up gold borders of these before gold borders start going up in price. Gold border cards in casual EDH circles are great. Most players are not going to complain about you having gold border cards just so that you can budget a little bit better. I think that these in the long term are going to be widely accepted by most EDH circles. I'm not the kind of person who plays competitive EDH. I'm not going to tournaments playing tournament level EDH trying to win all the tournaments with Chains and Nether Void and Moat and Tabby. But like for cards like this that I can still acquire in the gold border, I see nothing wrong with it. And again, same thing here with Abeyance. As white gets more and more support, cards like this become more attractive to me. Until end of turn, target player cannot play instants, interrupts, sorceries, or abilities requiring an activation cost and then draw a card. Could somebody tell me what this little SB is here on the bottom though? Bottom right of that card? SB. I've never seen that before. Is that like a tournament stamp? You could see both of these cards don't have it, but some of them do. Oh, and here we have Replenish. I actually do have a copy of Replenish, but I went ahead and I picked up one of these just so that I could have a playable copy. I think I have the one Replenish I have is in pretty good shape. Return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to play. Very, very strong sorcery. Very powerful card. Lots of gold border in this video. I didn't realize how much gold border I was picking up. Oh, no, this is like a good bit of stuff here, I think. Oh, some Maskwood Nexuses. Okay. Or a Maskwood Nexus. Or two Maskwood Nexus. So kind of along the same line with Reflections of Litjara. The reason I picked this up is very good Shapeshifter Changeling. It's got a nice token generator built in. And the ability on the card obviously lends itself to some fun shenanigans. Can combo off with Maskwood Nexus. And I think there was something else in here too. Yeah, another Worlds card. And this one is Yawgmoth's Will. Big combo card. Another reserve list staple that has just went crazy and just spiked in the past couple years. Now the gold border is even getting expensive. Yeah, it's just until end of turn you may play cards in your graveyard as though they were in your hand. So I mean, it's just brutal what you could do with this card with big mana and a nice fat graveyard. Very good card. Oh, okay, this is just the gold border video. This is just gold border stuff. More copies of Abeyance. Same thing. And it says SB. What does that mean? Why do I not know this? There we go. Not gold border, but again, white reserve list card, Leeches. Target player loses all poison counters. Leeches deals 1 damage to that player for each poison counter removed this way. This card really has to do with the fact that white is getting more support, and this had to do with poison, because poison counters, as there are more, as EDH and poison becomes more attractive, cards like this gain potency, but really this is just buying a reserve list card because it's reserve list with the future potential in mind. This is just for the collection. These have been getting really low, and I still think it's really good in EDH. It didn't pan out and become as explosive and powerful as people were saying it was going to be, but I still think that there's potential for this card and what it can do. I mean, being able to steal stuff, big deal in EDH, and it's very cheap cost. What do we have next here? Oh, it's a gold border card. Oh, it's Tithe. Yep, this is a card that I do not have in my collection, so I went ahead and I picked one up. Search your library for a Plains card. If you control fewer lands than target opponent, you may search your library for an additional Plains card. Reveal those cards to all players, put them into your hand, shuffle your library afterwards. So while I was talking about leeches and white gaining more support, this card is strictly better than leeches, has a lot more playability than leeches, and very good at instant speed. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, the weirdest packaging. This was the weirdest packaging I had seen here. Kind of all over the place. Another Yawgmoth Swill, and I think this one is actually in really nice condition. This one should be like near mint. Oh yeah. Yeah, that looks nice. So yeah, Yawgmoth Swill. We just talked about it. Another copy of that. And again, these reserveless counterparts, the legal versions of these cards, there aren't a ton of good reserveless cards that got printed in gold border. There are a good many, but a lot of the big daddies, like all of the stuff from Legends, Arabian Nights, that kind of stuff, did not get gold border treatment. So we see it on like Gaia's Cradle is like the biggest card that has a gold border treatment. Even the gold border Gaia's Cradle is like $200 now. But yeah, like Yawgmoth Swill, Academy Rector, Metalworker, there's some good gold border cards, but a lot of the most important reserveless cards didn't get that treatment. So the reserveless cards that did are attractive to players that are just trying to save a little bit of money. Oh, and here we go. Time Spiral Remastered, Foil Sanguine Bond. I remember picking this up for 20 bucks. Just really good EDH card. It's one of my favorite cards. I love enchantments. If you know anything about me, you know that Jake loves enchantments. And yeah, I had to snipe this one up when I saw it for 20 bucks right as Time Spiral Remastered was getting opened. I don't think people realize just how rare some of these time-shifted foil cards are. And that set has proven to be super explosive. Those boxes went up like $100 overnight in Time Spiral. Players love opening those packs. And so yeah, I just got to the point where I was like, well, I'm just gonna snipe the foils that I want, since there's only gonna be like 1 or 2 foils per box, like 3 if you're very lucky. I was like, sure, I'll just take the box foil for 20 bucks. Let's set that here, since somebody decided to tape it too. A giant piece of cardboard. We could just set it up right here, look. There we go, Sanguine Bond on a giant piece of cardboard. Oh, and then another one. Contagion Clasp, same thing. Nice proliferate effect. Very good for Atraxa. I picked this up for about 15 bucks. I was like, that's a pretty good price. Contagion Clasp isn't one of the big chase hits, just like Sanguine Bond isn't. But again, these are very nice cards for EDH in the future. All 3 of them: Mirror Entity, Contagion Clasp, and Sanguine Bond. Just a couple more envelopes to go through here. Next we have, oh look, they labeled it for us. It's a rings. This is just, I don't have a copy of it, so I went ahead and I picked this up for 3 bucks. It's very low. You could see it's from Commander Legends, so let's see how the foil quality is. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a bend to it, but it's not super faded like so many of the Commander Legends cards. However, it does have a little bit of surface, but again, this is a card that I plan on playing. Nice card. And I think this is 2 copies. Yes, Armageddon. Just picked up a couple old art Armageddons, also gold border. These were very cheap. You know, you can get copies of this card for a reasonable price as is. It's not exactly the most friendly card to play in EDH. A lot of people don't like having their lands destroyed. But yeah, Armageddon, Destroy All Lands, fun card, adding to the gold border collection. I actually really like the gold border cards. Some people might be like, why do you like these? But I actually do like them. I like picking up reserve list cards for cheap. Anyway, I'm Jake with Jake and Joel Magic. I hope you've enjoyed this nice little walk through the ages. Well, not really. You just looked at some old gold border stuff, some Time Spiral Remastered. We have Strixhaven coming up, so make sure that you're subscribed if you want to see what I'm buying from Strixhaven. That's going to be coming out in the next couple weeks. There's a lot of fun stuff in Strixhaven and Commander 21 that I am looking at, that I'm planning on picking up when it gets cheap. Make sure you're subscribed if you're interested in that. As always, thank you for spending your time with us. I'm Jake with Jake and Joel Magic. I hope you have a nice day.